So we're going to do a roll back next, which requires sitting on your bottom with your feet hip distance apart. So my feet, my knees are all in line with my hips. In terms of level 1, position 1, I'm going to use the backs of my hands, holding the backs of my knees as a bit of a seatbelt type strategy. So making sure you're on your bony bits as opposed to rocked back onto your flesh. Okay, so sitting on your sit bones, feeling like there's a strand of hair that's been lengthened up nice and tall. So that in itself is going to make you work hard to sit up nice and tall. So using your seat belts as safety if you require them, I'm going to tuck the tailbone under and between my legs to develop a nice little rounding position. I've got the use of my hands to stop me from going any further. Breathe in, breathe out, and round yourself back up. Feel your sitting bones nudge back into the floor, open the chest, shoulders down, chin in. Okay, so what I'd like you to think about imagery-wise is as you tuck your tailbone under, you're turning into a letter C shape. So you draw the C shape, a capital C, the chin nods down slightly. So my abdominals are connecting now to stop me from falling back. Breathe in. If I need my hands to pull me, I can. Tucking round into your C-shaped curve, and then sit nice and tall, lengthening through your spine. I've let go of my hands now, so hands are loose, shoulders down. I tuck my tailbone under, so there's the nice nudge through. So that stage there's a bit of flexion for your lower back. So a lot of us are quite lordotic or arched. There you're just getting a nice little stretch, going back as far as you feel until you get that energy and you get that possible little tremble where you're having to connect the core. Breathe. And then you're using your tummy, your abdominals, to round you back up to sitting and then lengthen nice and tall. Okay? Ideally, your feet remain on the floor. It might be if you go too far, your feet start to want to lift. Your feet remain flat. Your abdominals are tight. Breathe in. Sit up nice and tall. Tuck. There's your curve. There's your C. You're rounding yourself through. Drop it. So shoulders down, chin nodded down, tummy pulling in nicely. Breathe. Round yourself up nice and tall. So what I want you to be mindful of, obviously you'll feel it in the tops of your hips, your hip flexors, especially if you're quite tight in that area. You're working into your core. Things to think about is that your knees don't move inwards or outwards, or that you're not rocking off each bottom bone, hip bone, sit bone. So you're nicely lengthened through that stage. So that is an effort and will be an effort for quite a lot of you to sit upright. You're then taking your lumbar spine into flexion. So you can see I've started to tuck here. Tuck. My hips and knees stay in alignment. They've not gone wider. I'm leaning back a little bit further, but can you see I'm leaning in a rounded posture? Watch. This is not what you do. You're not leaning straight, okay? So I'll repeat one last go. Tuck the tailbone between the legs, feel the lumbar stretch, that's your lower back. You're starting to engage into your abdominals because gravity wants to force you back. You're not lying all the way back. Drop the shoulders, look between the knees, pull the ribs to the hips, breathe. Round, sit up nice and tall, feel your sit bones connect. Shoulders down, chin nodded in, and relax. Okay, so that's going to be quite a tough exercise for some of you there. And bearing in mind, you only roll back as far as you feel that connection required to stop you from going any further. So you might get a little bit further than me, you might not get anywhere as far as I did. But obviously, the initial focus is that your lumbar spine tuck there, okay? So getting a little bit of lumbar flexion in your back. Okay, any questions, guys? Remember, please just ask. I know a lot of you will feel that in the tops of your legs, but equally it is a nice core exercise as well as giving pelvis, lower back some mobilization at the same time. Do not go all the way down to the floor. Cheers, guys.